Yo guys, Jinsk here, and today you can just chill, go grab a fucking cup of coffee, and just listen because I'm not gonna show any gameplay, and I'm gonna do a video on how to fix World of Warcraft. Let me just put the mic a bit closer because this mic is dog. But yeah, I've seen a lot of YouTubers actually do this on how to fix World of Warcraft. I have several videos but and they all talk about systems and borrowed power and having to do them like the job that you have currently if you play retail and how that resonates with a lot of players, which is badly clearly since players are leaving the game. And I wanted to talk about it because I've been playing a lot of TBC. I only really play TBC Classic now, and whenever Wrath of the Lich King comes, I will only play Wrath of the Lich King if the expansion is terrible, or if I still play WoW. Now, how do you fix it? I think the content creators are going out of their way to try to fix it when I think the fix is super simple. You look back, you shut down Shadowlands first. And first, Blizzard needs to work on their communication with the player base. I think it's pretty simple to do. You just do like a developer's note, which they kind of did during Legion at some point, and they stopped doing for some reason. But you just say to the player base what you're thinking. And I really believe that, but you guys can comment below. I really believe if they shut down Shadowlands and they explain why they are shutting down Shadowlands, and by shutting down, it's not shutting down the servers, it's just not giving really that much more content. They finish off the storyline, and maybe this idea was actually pretty cool. I think it was from either Asmongold or Bellular, and you just the jailer just wins and you find out it was just a dream or something and you go back. Now, how far back do you go? I would argue Wrath of the Lich King, that this was all a dream and you're on top of Ice Crown after being killed by Arthas and before being rezzed by the guy, Darian Morgraine or whatever it was his name, Tyrant Fordring? Yeah, that guy. I'm not really strong on my lore these days because I don't really care about lore anymore. But yeah, that guy just resues, and all of that happens. It was when you actually died to Arthas, and you kind of dream. You were just kind of dreaming or dead and dreaming all of this shit, and you go back and you just tell the player base what you're working on. You don't need to name that your next expansion, but you just need to tell them. We see that Shadowlands has a lot of problems. We are working on them. We have a team working on them, but currently we are focusing on the next expansion to give you a better experience. I think somewhat of of this speech would be understood by the community. And I would actually argue most players would rather have this than just another expansion that is like Shadowlands, BFA, or even Legion. And I do know that the players love Legion, but the Legion was what started all this shit show in terms of class design, in terms of borrowed powers, in terms of systems that you need to do. Legion started it. And how do you make World of Warcraft good? How do you fix it? It's pretty simple, man. You just go back to basics. Why is TBC Classic or TBC back in the day? TBC Classic has a lot of problems. Why was TBC so loved by many players? Because it was an expansion, a true expansion of the classic game, of the vanilla game. You have pretty much the same class design, you have pretty much the same stuff, but they improved on it. You have reputations that give you gear, and reputations in TBC are the best the game ever had. You have professions that give you gear, and professions in TBC are the best the game ever had. And then you have the normal dungeons, the heroic dungeons, which were introduced in TBC. You have dailies for reps, for other stuff, for like valor point or badges of justice. Valor, it's Wrath of the Lich King, sorry. But for badges, you have so many ways to progress your character without having to go down the path of either PvE or PvP. You have reputations, you have factions, you have reputations, you have professions. And then you even have quests which give you some of the best items until you raid, like pre-raid biz. And you can actually do heroics with that gear. I think the game is so simple to fix actually, and that Blizzard tries so hard to keep pushing the game forward when players don't really want the game to be like designed around 2021. They want the game to be designed around what they know, and they keep pushing the old players away from the game, which is super weird because if it wasn't for the old players, the game would never reach the point that it reached in Wrath of the Lich King. But what I would do is just, like I said, shut down Shadowlands, then go back to basics. A simple story. You have a big threat. The threat is always looming, but it doesn't really appear, which you can see in TBC. Like, you know the threat is Sargeras and Kil'jaeden. You stop with all of this bullshit storytelling um, that they are doing currently, which is pretty bad. Um, as a storyteller myself, the way they are telling you the story and the way they are for the couple past expansions, they are like building up their villains. You can't build up a villain in one expansion. Sorry, you need to do it in a way that they are trying to recreate what they did in Wrath of the Lich King leveling with Arthas, where Arthas was always present, but it was a bit too much. And they are trying to recreate that, but what they don't understand is that Arthas before Wrath of the Lich King had like years and years and years of build up, and that's what they need to do. They need to give their own villains time to build up, to look like a threat, a real threat, and they need to make them relatable. You loved Arthas. You could. It was like you could understand what he was trying to do. He wasn't bad. They are trying to build up Thanos on this guy, this new guy, Zoval or something. But what they don't understand is that people liked Thanos as a villain because they could relate. They understood where he came from. He saw his own world getting destroyed because of too many people, and he wanted to just kind of protect the universe from that. Was it the intentions were good, the way the actions weren't, and that's how you build up a villain, a really good villain. That's why Arthas is still the best villain in World of Warcraft because it was kind of like Thanos. He wanted to protect his people, right? But then he ended up killing them because he wanted to protect his people, and it has a lot of human personality. Zoval is just a dude that runs around and says he wants to like fucking dominate or something. I don't know. But yeah, you build a simple story. It's not hard to build up a villain, but you need time to so players can relate to the villain. Then you just need like Atlas legit tells you what you need to have in World of Warcraft. The systems, the only systems, the base systems should only be these ones. Dungeons and raids, crafting, factions, PvP, collections. It's so simple. Even Atlas Loot, an add-on, tells you how to fix the game. You make this good, these systems good, and then you make class design good again. Look at this, mana, that actually matters. And what do I have to do? I need to life tap as a warlock. So my resource, it's not really mana, but it's HP. Right now I have shards. Who the fuck likes shard system at the moment? As affliction, especially as affliction where it's random. You might get a shard from agony or you might not. What? And then you spend that shard, it's like combo points. You spend that shard in a big spell. Ooh, I'm so good. I just pulled my shards and now I press all cooldowns and I press Malefic Rapture. What? Is that fun? And every class it's like this. Every class it's a build a spender or a combo points. You don't have mana mattering. And since you don't have mana mattering, it creates other problems, especially in PvP, where you have fire mages or mages in just spamming spells still and not giving a fuck about their mana because their mana just regens super fast. It's so weird. It's actually super weird how they have been doing the game. And this is gonna be a really short video. I think they just need to focus on basics. It's unbelievable how smart people don't look back at where the game was at its best, and they don't try to go back to that and improve that gameplay. And by improving is not making the game more accessible or anything, it's just improving the systems that they already had for 16 years and create new systems that are not like mandatory for the player base to have fun. Imagine TBC with a mage tower. Imagine TBC with a brawlers guild. Imagine TBC with I don't know, man, like without resists, without all of that, but like in terms of systems with warfronts, but warfronts that could be like against players. You could lose the warfront because you're facing players, not really NPCs. Something like that. And yeah, it's so simple. Like World of Warcraft, it's so good that the fact that 16 years later is still here, and the fact that even though the past 6 years have been the worst in terms of class design in systems, which have, people talk about Legion like it was the second coming of Jesus, but sorry, Legion was what kind of started all of this. You don't have fun playing your own class, you don't have fun playing the game. Imagine if they just came back, just designed monks and DHs according to TBC and Wrath of the Lich King design, where they don't have everything. If you have a lot of mobility, maybe you don't have a kick, or maybe you don't have a stun. If you have a stun, you don't have a kick for sure. Imagine if they actually build up the game, and without infinite mobility, they build up the current game on the basis of Wrath of the Lich King and TBC, with the Wrath of the Lich King class design and the TBC like systems like reputations, professions, and all of that. It would be so fun. It would be such a good game. I would play that game. I would really play that game. And yeah, that's so simple to fix. It's actually insane. Even after 6 expansions of just completely destroying the game and the classes, it's so insane that it's still so easy to fix World of Warcraft. You just can't design it like it has been. You need to design it like it was. It's so insane that people lost their jobs playing this game. Vanilla TBC and vanilla WoW. And I would say in Wrath of the Lich King, the addiction was starting to dwindle because it was an easier game. But vanilla TBC and vanilla WoW were really fucking addictive, and people actually just lost their jobs and all of that because they just couldn't stop playing the game because it was fun, not because they had to. It was because it was fun. And it's impossible to me to understand how Blizzard has been first so fucking weak in terms of communication and second so fucking stupid about the game, because you were like in documentaries about the addiction. World of Warcraft was the first game that happened, and they can't just go back and do the same. It's so unbelievable that they they think that the current path is actually the right path. It's so insane. But yeah, TLDR, just just look back. And even if you don't do everything like it was, at least get the best out of it, like the professions and the reputations and professions at least, and the class design. But yeah, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Today I'm gonna do some roguelike druid. Hopefully, sorry about that. Hopefully, we get some good games. I'm also gonna stream, so if you want to check, just check the description below to follow my stream. Follow my stream. I will try to stream more often, but sometimes I just don't want to stream because we still don't have the gear. So some games we just lose because of that. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Peace.